alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Today, inshallah, we have a new topic for grade 9 under the title Getting Closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So today we are going to learn how to get closer to Allah and how to gain His love. With the first question, how to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I'm going to give you some tips, some instructions. If you do these steps and these steps, you are going to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number one, read Quran. Read Quran in reverence and reflect. Try to understand every word it says because it will help you a lot in your life and of course in the hereafter. The Quran has the solution to all problems. So we should read it, understand it, and reflect it and implement its teaching in our life. Step number two, pray 5 times a day. Always pray on time. Never ever delay or ignore your prayer. When you hear the adhan, the first thing you do, make wudu and go to mosque as soon as possible. Try to relax in your prayer, which is khushu in Arabic, and forget everything that could bother and distract you in this life. Remember always you are with Allah now and He deserves your full attention. Never ever be distracted by something outside. Number three, maintain good manners. Never lie or steal. Be nice to the people around you. Be gracious towards your parents. Obey them, respect them, admire them. Keep your promises. If you cannot keep your promise, so don't give a word. Always forgive and be nice. Even be kind to your enemies. The Quran tells us to repel evil with good, to be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Next is avoid making sense or avoid committing sin. Generally, don't insult others, don't delay or ignore duties, and remember that Islam forbids all like sinful activities outside the religion itself. So Islam advise and recommend us to keep like stuck to the Islamic teaching to be able to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Next is give zakah. I'm just giving some tips in general, and there are many tips other than this. Give zakah, charity, and donate as much as you could to the needy. The Quran says that those who give a charity will have a noble reward. Note that zakah being one of the Islam 5 pillars. Giving zakah is one of the pillars of Islam. So it is a must for all Muslims to give sadaqah. Even sadaqah is not compulsory or mandatory. It is commendable or it is good, but it helps us to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But it is very high recommended. There are, however, restrictions on whom to help and whom not to. The Quran allows Muslims to donate charity to those who try to earn their own livelihood but aren't succeeding too much in it, not those who beg for it. For begging for human is wrong, as giving them the kind of charity helps them to beg more in the street. Next step is some signs of Allah's love. There are some signs. If you achieve this signs or you have these signs, so you will be able to gain Allah's love. Number one, if you find yourself in constant, constant mention of Allah in your thoughts and actions, this could be a sign. In a hadith Qudsi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if my slave mentions me to himself, I mention him to myself. There are many ways which we can do this as taught by our beloved Prophet Muhammad. This involves making adhkar. Adhkar means words of remembrance Allah. Next, if you hold fast with the book of Allah, know that the Quran is the direct speech of Allah to us, and whenever you recite, you are reciting the words of your Lord. Allah will make it easy for you to recite, memorize, and act upon it with sincerity when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will love you. Next is if you have a sincere love for those whom Allah loves. For example, the Anbiya, prophets, messenger, the righteous people, the believers, mu'mineen, and read through the biographies of those whom the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was manifested. For example, the Prophet Ibrahim, Prophet Muhammad, Prophet Musa, Prophet Isa, and so on. Allah will make easy for you acts. Make easy for you acts of ibadat. Ibadat means the acts of worshipping, which are not practiced by most people. In a sense, you reap more reward and at the same time fix the condition of your soul for the pleasure of your Lord. Allah gives you abundant reward for doing these acts of ibadat or acts of. Next sign is if you don't feel safe from the punishment of Allah, no matter how many good deeds you have done. It's because you don't know whether Allah has accepted them or not. It helps you to purify your intentions, and we know that only the good deeds done with proper procedure and intention are best. So all acts, all deeds, like we said, judged or depends on your intention. If you have a good intention, so inshallah your acts of ibadat or worshipping acts will be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah grant